Alrighty, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Follow the Calendar 2025 on Pro Cycling Manager. Today we are taking on Strade Bianche, the cobbled, hilly, bit of chaos, the true crossover point of the classic season. We're going to ride with Uno X Mobility today for Tobias Harland Johannesson. 77 hill is not ideal, but it should put us in contention if we ride fairly conservatively. Magnus Cort is obviously going to be up and around there late on. What I presume is his brother um, is going to be a key domestique late into the race. But obviously, the clear and obvious favourite is going to be Tadej Pogacar, who won this race like it was nothing in real life. I didn't actually watch the race. I watched the final 10 kilometers, and he'd obviously attacked. Way before that, um, just his stats are truly insane for this game. Like, remember, 82 is like the highest you usually see on things, and rightfully so. Does this man blow it out of the water? And honestly, he has the strongest team around him. Um, in terms of, I sort it by evaluation. Wiesma are bringing a weaker team with Hullett leading them. He doesn't look like he's really going to be in with a chance. Filippo Zanna leading Jayco doesn't look too strong. And then these are all, is Marche Wanty I can't remember if they're a pro Conti or world team. But yes, we are going to jump in and I'll show you the parkour. As we have a look at the parkour, Magnus Cort not got the best of his race fitnesses, but is it Tobias that's our leader? It is. Tobias on an exceptional day, well, not day, but an exceptional condition. And we hope that he can come out and produce something a bit special for this team. We are going to have to hold on till very late. We can't be going for anything crazy early on or drilling pace or anything. We're just going to have to sit in the group, make the splits when they happen, and that's going to be the game plan. So yeah, I suppose let's get to the start line. No, scrap that. And here's the favourites for today's stage. Tadej Pogacar is not a shock that he is the favourite for the day. But Tobias Harlan Johannesson is on the favourites list, which is extremely positive to see. We will definitely be going for a top five, top 10 minimum on the day. Um, and kind of hope to be in that same group. I'm not going to focus on following Tadej Pogacar, I don't think. But yeah, let's jump into the stage and I'll see you on the start line for the break formation. Here we go on the start line. That's the wrong Johansson. Tobias is on a good day, but nothing great. Same with Court Nielsen. His brother is on a very nice day. Um, no one having a shocker of a day. Levy's not having the strongest day, but that being said, he's also not the key. Um, Levy, I think, is just going to protect for now. Someone else can come up to control the break. Um, Orionstad can book it up to the front um, in an attempt to control the breakaway. Is any of these? Honestly, if we're a smaller team, I don't think it's our job to control the breakaway. So I'm just going to get everyone up to the front, Johannesson protected and in strict energy conservation. Um, yeah, Johannesson may have overtaken Court Nielsen, although he's got a bit of a better sprint. He's just going to be sitting in till the end, and hoping to get on the end of something. Um, but yeah, I'm going to have to go a bit faster. Um, let's go at 80 and hope that that's enough. I'm okay with moving backwards. Oh, not if I click those buttons. I just obviously do not want to go out the back. Um, so I may have committed a little bit too hard. Um, but yeah, once we get everyone up to the front, and I don't know why Court Nielsen is riding, um, because we are in the correct group. Honestly, at this point, let us just get up to the front. Um, Johannesson can honestly drop back a little bit. Everyone else is slowly but surely going to make their way up to the front. Um, we are pretty close to being there. Who's out the back? Blackmore has gone out the back, presumably by fall of some degree, although I do not remember seeing it. Um, and all the boys get pretty close to being in the right spot. Um, that breakaway is either failed or they're drilling the pace for no reason as we come to the first of the sectors, as it really does get strung out. If something breaks up, we might try and force something on this area here. They're called Pinzuto. Over that area there, we may try and force something as a big group of favorites goes, which is going to get dropped or picked back up. They're just going on the attack for no reason. I'm not following them this far to go. If Pikachu is in this, I'm okay with him going in the breakaway, I think. In the purest sense that he's going to be up the road. I may commit Holter to making their life pretty rough. Johannesson has fallen. Levy is waiting, and he's back on his way pretty quickly. Peter Seri also has a puncture problem. Everyone's getting puncture problems. Um, we're going backwards largely, but it does seem to be doing what we need to keep Johannesson safe. And Holtz needs to stop riding because he's managed to create another split that we're not in. Um, wow, this has been one hell of a start. Um, I just want everyone at the front of this group to prevent issues with splits from happening. It doesn't look like it's going to happen easily. Um, that Pikachu group has gone very far up the road, but there's only 12 of them. So if I can just commit Halter, um, I don't think we'll be in that much trouble. As we attempt to cross up to the front. We're going to pull them back on the approach to the Montalcino, and up it arguably is when we're going to close this gap up because they are drilling the pace, which I think works in our favor. Um, as we very, 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 very slowly get all of our riders back to where they belong at the front of this group. Um, as long as we can be there, we can go back into energy conservation, but we keep getting split off because we're not where we need to be. Um, let's just wait, get formed up, right up at the front, and then now let's go back after them. We're going to use Halter to. I do not remember seeing them come back. Okay, you can go onto that wheel. Let's just settle down. I don't remember bridging across that gap, but that's okay. Who's gone up the road? Kim Hyde, I'm definitely fine with, as is LaBrosse. We finally might have a normal breakaway go up the road. Does anyone jump across? They do. I'll wait to make sure they actually establish, and they do. Johnny Moscon has gone across. Um, Martin, not sure who that one is. Moscon going across in real life would be slightly more threatening, but in game his stats are nothing too crazy. It'd be an interesting sprint between Labros and Haiduk. Moscon would probably just place third, and this poor guy would finish fourth. And here we go. We are not going to drive the pace whatsoever. We want this pace to stay slow for the entire race. The slower, the better in our eyes for the pure purpose of energy conservation. We don't want to be burning our yellow early at all. And I might attempt Halter to see if we can get some water because we're going to have to. And if we can time it right, our life could be made slightly easier going forward. And he has made it back into the group, so we won't have the split issue. That poor bloke, he went up into the roadway and he's had his tire puncture. Well, it seems like he's going to get back on. Um, yeah, so we're going to just keep going. Zone exposed to wind here, coming up. So we really are going to stay as far forward to the front as possible again. Um, and it just seems to narrow off in a really annoying fashion. Um, I really don't want to be caught behind a split again. Um, so I will do what I can to stay forward. Pogacar gets a puncture, so he's still back with us. The punctures do not last an incredibly long amount of time in this game, which a lot of the time I'm thankful for. Um, but today I'm not overly. Johannesson has punctured again, and that puts him right towards the back, as he's going to have to crawl his way back up through the field that hopefully doesn't split, but it looks like it might. Volta climbing. Johannesson is just going to drill it back up towards the front because he has no other real choice. We just have to get up there. He's making slow and steady progress up through the field. This descent might help coming up. All the climbs we make up a bit of time, but all the bunch comes back up, and this could be dangerous. Del Toro letting a couple wheels go rather terrifyingly. Um, we have bridged back up most of the way, but it has really taken out from Johannesson's legs. But he is absolutely doing what he can to get back and not let that group escape him, because that would spell race over if he doesn't stay with the front group um, through this section. He is nailing what he has to do, despite it probably just really taking from his legs. The good news is everyone's having to work hard. It is not just him being completely and utterly messed up. But here he has made it like 5 or 10 kilometers after the initial. No, I told you to stop doing that. Um, up, back up here with the Gacha and the crew. Um, and for some reason dropping extremely far back. Um, he is really going to go into energy conservation right now. He cannot afford to go this far back again for no reason. I don't know what it is about him deciding he doesn't want to be at the front, but he's done that a few times now, even off camera. Um, doing well to stay with the right group here. Versness is right up front. Holter and Levy are hanging on by an absolute thread. Um, Levy, Orionstad, all gone. So I'm just going to give them the option to do what they want. Um, and yeah, let's do that. Everyone is still right where they need to be, although we are arguably a little bit too far forward now. Let's drop back to there. Magnus. I don't like that he's so far forward. Um, but there we go. He drops back into the position I want him. I am extremely happy with where we are. In a peloton of just 17 people, um, it could absolutely be worse. Um, I don't think we've dropped anyone crazy. Mohoric is out the back. He's strong. Yeah, like this is the group with Zana, so either Jaco have something weird, yeah. Jaco just have no one left in the group. Um, this is the front though. Do I want to commit someone to stop these other groups coming back? Is the question I have for myself. Um, but if they've already been dropped, I'm not overly worried about the idea that I'm worried about though. So I'm just going to commit someone to the front and do that. Because although I don't think late race will follow attacks, in a scenario like this, I am relatively comfortable going out after him. Anyone else, we will respond a little bit rougher on. But Pogacar, I am fairly happy to let go because I think he is just too good and will run away with it anyway. Anyway, I think we're in a relatively chill moment. 4 seconds back to go to and co. I'm going to cut back when something more interesting is going on. Pogacar has gone again. Veresness is going to set a decent tempo because we do have Carapaz and Scaroni up the road, which we don't want to allow. Although Carapaz doesn't look like he's going to be closing a gap anytime soon. Veresness is just going to do what he can. This group is not going to cross. Pogacar looks like he's doing his big attack. Now I'm going to aim to take this back slowly, if I can at all. Um, he's gone with 85 kilometers to go, which is a very, very Pogacar thing to do. Um, so I'm not overly confident of being able to bring him back. Um, but given we are setting a pretty even tempo with Versness, I just want everyone up on his wheel. The people that need to be protected are these two are going to need those pop. Rather frustratingly, Scaroni dragged back, but he's taken 3 minutes and 20 seconds already. That is insane. Um, Fort Nielsen has punctured. I'm going to let him do his own way back on. Is that Scaroni out the back? It is. Johannesson done. Other Johannesson is going to have to just slow down because I do not have the capabilities to go solo from here. Um, we're going to keep our numbers um, and not ride this Johannesson. I don't know what I want him to do. Um, what I might do is do what I want. I want the runner behind you. Can you wait? You can. I'm just going to get you to wait for him and sit on his wheel. And you are going to wait for Lander and sit on his wheel. That way, if these two come back into the fold, they will have been dragged there and they will not work. Um, I don't want them to work at all. Um, which seems to be going okay. Um, I don't know if it's a smart decision to attack away from these two. I might wait for the Col Pinto, as Johannesson is not going to be able to get Pogacar. Pogacar is just gone. Um, these other ones, I'm just going to sit and hope that people get dragged back across to us. As Scaroni drags back Nielsen. and Johannesson, who honestly I'm going to put straight on the front at just like 65 in an attempt to stop more people crossing back. Like if people do, it's okay, but I'd rather make it difficult. Um, and they should be able to just keep rotating at that 65 for the rest of the time. Lando is getting tantalizingly close. All right, I'll cut back once we're doing something else. Now, I'm tempted to look with Verizon to force the other riders into riding. I don't think it's going to work, but we might go over the top with Tobias Johannesson. The other two, I just want you to sit on the back as best as you possibly can. Um, I'm not overly hopeful, um, but we'll see how they go. As Tavares keeps going, I want to keep following the attack because I don't want to be caught behind. Anyone we can drop out of this, Garoni, I'm hopeful is going to have minimal left just because of how rough he was beforehand. Do I go or do I wait? I want him to keep drilling, and that is going to be how we make our difference on this race. Dvaresness is going to drag us to the base of that black, and once we're there, Johannesson is going to hopefully get a big gap on Scaroni, Kwiatkowski, and Dylan Turns. If he can get that gap, we are absolutely going to push it and see how we go. These two are going to just do what they can. They're probably going to ride, but I'm not overly hopeful. Um, Although I think I've gone. Where are we? We've gone a lot earlier than I had intended to. That is okay. Um, Pikachu is 6 minutes out in front, which is an absolute joke. Um, I'm just gonna sit in. I am absolutely not going to be the one that drags this group. Um, if they want to, go for it. We're not going to bring Pikachu back. Um, yeah, I will come back if there is an attack. Here we are as Dylan turns is attacking the group. We got gapped a tiny bit, but Johannesson definitely crossed it quick enough as we settle back down into rhythm with 30 Ks to go. Gonna grab the last water bottle I'm gonna need and hope that no one attacks whilst I'm doing it. We now have a 2 minute gap to Veresnet, who's the next group on the road. So we do not have to worry about being caught from behind. Um, we simply have to worry about how do we gap this group. We're not better on the cobbles, so I think our best bet is to attack on a straight up uphill with our um, energy gel thing and not to allow an attack to go away. I will cut back at the base of the collar Pinzoto, and that is when I think I'm going to launch my attack. Veresnes has come back at an amazing time because he's going to do our lead out down into the hill. What's it one called again? The Pinzoto. And this is where we are going to launch. Is that them launching? No, just chilling. Johannesson puts in his big effort at the base of this climb, at the base of the cobbled sector. He's going to go, and everyone immediately jumps on the wheel. Can he distance anyone? Remarkably, no. Kwiat thinks about going over the top and decides against it. We're just going to hop in the wheel, and honestly, we're just going to have to back ourselves in a sprint, I feel. If we can get that sprint right, sit in the wheels, launch at the right moment, I'm infinitely confident in our ability. Um, Scaroni honestly might be the most deadly sprint out of them, although he's looked the slowest to respond. Dversnes is going to keep trying to cross back across. Um, but I'm not overly hopeful. Um, and in the Wheel of Twins, he's looked strongest. I feel like we've done what we can in terms of attacking. I don't think. What on earth happened there? Kwiatkowski's gone. That looks like he's sitting up. That is something we'll look at back on camera with 12k to go. Kwiatkowski went straight out the back. And honestly, I don't want him going back. Let's force him to put in some effort um, and really drag himself back across to us. We hop back in the Wheel of Twins. Kwiat is going to cross back. I'm not entirely sure what was happening there. That is okay. We have 8k to go. I don't think anyone's going to attack. Everyone will be confident of their own sprint ability here, and don't want to burn themselves out too soon. Veresnes is not going to be able to cross. He's got 2 minute gap to us. And with 5k to go, we are going to sit on Dylan Twins' wheel. Obviously today Pogacar wins. We've still got 5k to go. That man is a freak of nature. But here we do go. Dylan Twins with 2.5k to go. Ideally going to be led out by Dylan Twins. Johannesson sat in the wheel. Kwiat and Scaroni following. He's not setting himself up for the best of times, is Scaroni. I don't want to attack over the cobbles. I want to go as late as possible. And no one seems to be going yet. It might be too early to jump. But I think I'm going to try and go for it as he launches at the same time. A bit of chaos in the sprint. Will Dylan Twins take it, or can Johannesson come around? Dylan Twins takes P2. Johannesson podiums at Strade Bianche for Uno X Mobility. What a great result that would be for them in real life. Straight, especially off the back of their win in Omloop Het Nieuwsblad. I think they won. Um, yeah, an incredible race. Pogacar just cook it with 80k's to go, which is seemingly a normal occurrence at this stage, which is mental to have to say. Ricani, with 17 kilometers still to go, is going to come across the line last. And poor Ricani, he comes across the line an hour after Tadej Pogacar, as we can look at his attack once again, pretty close to there. This is his first attack that I think he sat up from. He did. He was like 97 k's is too far. And then at 80 something k's, he just launched. Did he like, yeah, it's just before that. 85 k's to go, turns onto whatever climb this is, the Arno, and Carapaz and Scaroni initially respond. Once he has the gap, immediately Carapaz sits up and just cannot do it. Scaroni tries, but no one's going with him. I feel, did what we could in regards to kind of following and going after what we could get, but in the end, Tadej Pogacar too strong. Johannesson could arguably have led out in the sprint, but he had the best wheel. He had Dylan Turns, who was arguably the best sprinter out of the group. We probably won teams class. We did. I think that's strong. 3 riders in the top 10, a podium 10.5 minutes behind Tadej Pogacar. What a race. I think the next one I see you for is Paris-Nice. So if you enjoyed, please like, share, comment. We love to see it. I love responding to you guys. So send whatever you'd like. I will see you, I think, on the start line of Paris-Nice.